Hello and welcome to Spirit Touched. The disciples were right to call him teacher because they could see that he lived what he taught. You see, becoming a follower of his starts us on a lifelong journey walking with the Master. Because he was such a great teacher, Jesus challenged those 12 to become better men. That 3.5 year journey with him is how they learned to take up their own cross after his resurrection and take his teaching out to a hungry world and began a church that is still alive 2,100 years later. They knew from experience that he was the author and interpreter of the word. They heard the authority in his voice. Check out all of Matthew chapters 5 through 7, which is the Beatitudes. Those ethics have yet to be surpassed or forgotten and are just as relevant today as they were then. His teaching changed their lives and can change yours. Psalms 55:19 and 2 Corinthians 3:18 tells us how that happens. Paul tells us how he did it in Galatians 2:20. Take a look at Mark 5:36. Then Google and listen to the hymn Only Believe. John 10:35. Many have tried and failed. According to Matthew 5:18, Jesus fulfilled every word in the Bible. Revelations 22:6 seals that truth. Mary, sister of Lazarus, knew that Colossians 2:3 was true, and she loved sitting at his feet listening to the truth. Look at Romans 3:11. Why is that? The answer is found in John 15 verses 16 and 19. He follows David in 1 Kings 8:16 and Psalm 78:70. We only think we choose him. Really, it's the other way around. The reason Jesus came is found in Luke 19:10. Jesus is the seeker of the lost. We talked about the John 4 woman at the well. Story earlier, but let's look at her again in a different light. Number one, we are all the same biologically, meaning we are all humans. Number two, we all need Jesus. In New Testament times, men did not speak to women in public, not even their own female relatives, except their daughters. In the eyes of the disciples, when they found him talking to this woman, Jesus was breaking the law. Jesus had many female followers and friends. You see, he came to save both sexes. Social barriers mean nothing to him. This is how we can know with 100% certainty that to him all lives matter. It's time to start abiding by Proverbs 22:2. This woman's story also shows us that cultural divisions mean nothing to him. We also define people according to their morals, but Jesus doesn't. Luke 5:32. Recently we talked about being radical. Jesus was the first radical rebel with a cause. Like him, we need to love people anyway, i.e., love them into the kingdom. You see, the reason he is a seeker is so he can be their savior. This woman's story is a lesson on Evangelism 101. Religion is not an isolation against sin. It only covers it up. Only God can erase it once we confess it. Religion is one way people try to find God. Christianity is a relationship with God. It's how he reaches out to humans. He leads us to the well of living water so we can drink and then give others a drink. Our responsibility is not traditional and religious, it's spiritual and personal. You may send your prayer request to He Answers, TWO, at Gmail, and we'll give them to the personal God.